connection between the players and the fans and the football club and the fans has been as strong as it's been since I've been at the club. They play such a big part on how successful we are. We're all in this together, and I think it's exactly where we need to be.
Dave, first of all, thank you for joining us at the end of a challenging, intense, really good week with the players. How would you sum it all up?
I think exactly what you've just said there. So I do think it's been a really successful week. I think it's been really intense. The players have adapted well to the training. It's also a really good opportunity to integrate new players as well. I think that's something that pre-season camps definitely benefit from, because you're living in each other's pocket for the full week. It allows us to get a lot of work into the players. And then not just on the training pitch, but because you're together all the time, there's more meetings, there's more of a sort of insight, and especially when you've got the new players, and trying to frame and map out exactly how we want to move forward. So that's been hugely beneficial as well. Added to that, the facility we've actually got here, which is fantastic. Really good playing surface. The weather's been good in terms of not too hot as well. That's obviously another benefit of coming somewhere like over to Ireland. It's not too far a flight, but also it's never going to be too hot that you have to adapt training or players get blisters and things like that. So that's been another huge positive thing. And then we've had two real good runouts from a game point of view. Added to that, the training and the loading that's went into the players. So it's been really intense. It's been a really tough week for the players, but one that I think they've enjoyed as well. I've certainly enjoyed what I've seen. And I think the biggest thing is the players are fitter and stronger than they were when they came, which is a big step forward to what we need to get to.
Yeah, you mentioned just that aspect of, team bonding and players gelling. You've done plenty of pre-seasons as both a player, now as a coach as well. Have you seen that amongst the group, the togetherness that's building, particularly amongst the three new boys coming in?
Yeah, I think that's something I always really praise this group with, which is when new players come in, the core of the boys that have been here for a long time, we really welcome new players in well. I think they do make it easy for players to settle. It also goes back to the recruitment side to it, and you make sure you want to try and, as much as you can, bring players in that are the right type of people. And we're really pleased on that front. The three boys that have joined us, I think have settled in really well. The team bonding side to it probably helps the fact that there hasn't been a big changeover. It is the third season with myself and the staff, but a lot of the players have been through the whole course of that. So they kind of know what to expect. But on top of that, the challenge for me this season and the rest of the staff and every player is to challenge them to try and don't be comfortable knowing that just what's going to be the same pre-season. It's not. We're going to make sure we keep pushing each other, keep moving the bar, because we need to make sure we keep improving. But in terms of that team bonding and the team spirit that's within the group, it's certainly a really good place, and it's been a massive part of the success I think we've had in the last couple of seasons is the togetherness within that.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the games then, because I know you mentioned before that the players coming back at different times, the boys on international duty, it affects team selection for the Shamrock game, for example, and also the different stage they are in pre-season. I think we've obviously just had that Cliftonville game there, and you're really beginning to see the fruits of this team here now. Can you just give us a little bit of insight into that and how difficult that is for a manager?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of moving parts, that's what I would say. So we almost had like three groups in one, so clearly we couldn't bring that many players. We ended up bringing a lot of players over because of the fact that we had the international players that were joining us later. Jack Iredale wasn't going to be quite ready for the first game either, so they were always joining us and missed the first week of pre-season at HTC and had an extra week, but then they weren't going to be ready to play the first game. We don't want to spike their loads too quickly, because then you're obviously putting them back and putting them at risk of injury. So that was hugely important that we got that balance right. They were safe to go into a game today, but after a week of training. So to then be able to facilitate that first game, we needed 20 players. So then you're bringing the younger players to accommodate that as well. On top of that, we only were able to bring 18 outfield at that point. So Canaio and Jacob were slightly different. So there was a lot of moving parts, a lot of organisation within it, working with the strength and conditioning and medical department to make sure that every player was ready to go and play at the level we'd had. I think even seeing it today, players hugely benefited for that 45 minutes against Shamrock because of the work that goes into it. Now that's the bit that nobody sees. Nobody sees the triple session that was that day. Nobody sees the things they'd done at HTC before we came away. But it's all geared up to try and make the players improve and getting them as fit and as strong as we can, but as safe as we can. I say that all the time. but certainly got the benefits of it today because players were able to be pushed on again. So you look at two centre backs, Jason and Warren got 60 minutes, Nicky Cadden 60 minutes. You've seen the benefits of him, certainly getting fitter and stronger. Two midfielders with Josh and Miguel got, I think, the 60 as well. So there is, Felix, there's more minutes into the players today. We've got another game on Wednesday where the ones who hadn't got the 60 today will be pushed on that front as well. And by the end of that game, everybody then should be in a real good place to really go and push on now from a physical point of view, because a lot of the work that's been done in training and pre-season has all been geared up to really improving that baseline and pushing the players to be as fit as they can be.
Just staying on pre-season, and obviously we mentioned the facilities out here in Kildare in Ireland. Just touching upon where you go for pre-season, different clubs do it differently, but the club made the conscious effort to come to Ireland as part of our 150th celebrations. How special was that for you from a club point of view, but also to have the fans out here for that first game, because I know they were enjoying it in Temple Bar?
Yeah, so to touch on the second bit there with the fans coming over, I think it's really good that it's not too far. There's regular flights to come over here. The support was fantastic on Tuesday night, and when we felt it at the game for a pre-season friendly game, especially your first game. How often the games are usually a bit of a low-key affair, because there'll be a lot of repetition, there'll be a lot of changes within the game, and it is about the minutes, but it didn't really feel like a friendly. It was great. I think the atmosphere around the place was fantastic, and the fact that you've just touched on there with the 150th year and the history that goes with that is something that I think's been real credit to everybody involved at the football club for what's been done in the last sort of 12 months to celebrate the 150th year. A lot of work's went into that. It's been a huge success, I think. And then a big thing for me when you talk about why come to Ireland when you think about a pre-season trip, this is our sort of third pre-season. We went to Holland twice to the same place, and it is just a freshness for me. I think that's something that I've been very big on going into my third season now, challenging the staff, challenging the players that we do need to keep moving forward and not just doing the same things all the time. So we came somewhere different, so a different surrounding, different atmosphere, different facilities. And then the benefits, as I've just said, they come into somewhere like this is it's not too far, the facility's fantastic, the food's fantastic, and like the sort of the weather, it's not too hot, you can get the work in that you need to do. And I think the players have really responded well to that as well.
Zooming out then a little bit, you mentioned it's now this will be your third season as head coach, third season in charge of Hibs. When you kind of zoom out and look back at the last 2 years and going forward, how much have you enjoyed it and relished the challenge?
I might not look like I enjoy it. A lot of people say that to me. You never ever look happy, you're miserable all the time. That's a fair point. Good point, well made, to be fair. But I do enjoy it. I might not, as I say, come across like I do. I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying the challenge all the time, the pressure, the expectation, the demand. The demand I'm now putting on, well, I always put on everybody to keep pushing each other, to keep improving, because as you've just said there, it is the third season now. And you can't just be stale, you can't just expect things to, because you think you're doing something well, that it'll just keep happening and that'll just keep, everything's good. You need to keep making sure that you're constantly striving to improve every single player in the building, every staff member in the building, because the football club has that demand and expectation, and if we've got European football to look forward to again this season, and that's where we want to be competing every single season. It'll be more difficult next year, where you need to be in the top four probably to get European football or win a trophy, and that's the aims and the ambition again this season. So we want to have a strong European campaign now. Everything's geared up and looking forward to that first game, and that is the rewards for last season. This season, clearly, if you want nights like that we had last season, you need to be successful domestically, and I think that is the challenge for us, to make sure that we are competing at the right top end of the league. We've got a real strong squad again. We will be trying to add to it as much as we can to try and improve it, to make it as strong as it can be, and I'm really happy where we are right now.
You mentioned bringing new players in and staff as well. One new staff member has joined is John Potter, obviously, Potsy, who you know very well. Just what difference has he made to the group?
I think he's settled in exactly as I thought he would. Someone who's very experienced, knows the club, has been here before, worked with some of the players before, so there is a little bit of familiarity straight away. But just his personality and his character is someone that I was never worried about how he would settle. You can always put him in a room anywhere and can adapt to every situation. On top of that, what he brings every day on the grass, very good coach, very experienced coach, and his knowledge is something that again is a different voice. So again, going into that third season, I keep speaking about this, about moving it, trying to move the bar, and that's not a reflection on what we've done previously. It's just a freshness and a new voice, a different challenge. And then from my point of view, where I can sort of split up training a little bit more and make it a little bit more individualised and unit-wise, and just trying to evolve as much as we can, because that's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think I've completed it at all from a coaching point of view. We always need to make sure we're always improving, myself included, the staff every day, improving every day, and keep trying to keep move this club forward, because that's the ambition that comes right from the top with the Gordon family, and the expectation and demands that I know that it takes to be successful at this club.
You mentioned European football as well. Going back to this time last season, it was a dramatic, a memorable, chaotic time in Europe. Just fell short at the final hurdle, but we had some unbelievable nights, both at East Road and on the continent. Does that kind of drive you forward to go that one step better this time and be in charge of the first ever Hibs team to make it to the group stage?
Well, I'm not going to look too far ahead. Clearly we've got a difficult tie away from home first. Wherever that's going to be, it'll be a different culture, a different way of playing, what we're going to come up against. But absolutely, that, as I've already said, we had some brilliant experiences last season, some outstanding performances, fell just short, which was probably one of the strangest nights of football I've been involved in, because I was very proud of what we delivered on that night, but to fall short was gut-wrenching in the end. But definitely give us that that motivation and appetite to want to get back to nights like that, special nights to be involved in. I was lucky to get involved in a couple as a player, thoroughly enjoyed them as a coach as well, and that's where we want to be, and that's where the club needs to be. And I think the fans, the connection that comes off the back of that as well, the connection between the players and the fans and the football club and the fans has been as strong as it's been since I've been at the club. We want to continue that, because they play such a big part on how successful we are. And wherever we went, over even in Ireland for a pre-season friendly, we've got whatever it was, over 2,000 Hibs supporters over. Wherever we go, they'll be there again to support us, and we're all in this together, and I think it's exactly where we need to be.
Just finally then, since you've been in, obviously as a player, everyone knows the history that you have as a player, as a manager, delivered some unbelievable memories for this club in terms of the back-to-back European football, derby wins, third place finishes, all that kind of stuff. What does success look like this season for Hibs?
Well, the first thing for us was European football again, so that needs to be the aim and the ambition again for a football club. Can you be the team to then go 3 years in a row? So can we recreate history in a real positive way? I say it all the time, I challenge the players with that incentive to try and do that, so that's something. And then the cup competitions is something that we've looked at in the last couple of seasons, and you can feel sorry for yourself or feel unlucky about some of the draws and things, but we've already demonstrated that on our day with a complete performance we're as good as anybody at times. So I think a real strong cup competition is what we're looking for. Coming to this football club, I've been very fortunate to experience it myself. You can play at a very high level and have a really successful career but never actually win anything in your career. I've been very fortunate to have done that, but they're the greatest days to be involved in, and it is a genuine opportunity at the football club. It's a difficult thing to do, extremely difficult thing to do, but something that you need to strive towards, and if you believe in it and we put in level of performances, we know we're a good side, and it's a genuine opportunity to try and do that. We want to try and get back to Hampden, we want to try and be competing in the latter stages of competitions, and that's where we need to try and make sure we have strong cup runs. I think with the European stuff, we'll just take one game at a time and put absolutely everything into it. And alongside that, this is what you're preparing for. You're preparing for Thursday, Sunday at the start of the season. All the players need to be fit, ready to go. But that's a selling point for this football club. If you're trying to attract players, if you're trying to motivate the players, European football, and to be competing at the top end of the Scottish Premier League, for this football club is a great place to be. When things are going well, it's a fantastic place to play.
Gaffer, appreciate your time. I'll let you go because I know I've got a flight to catch, but thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.